People deluded. Now, I'm kind of making a video about Reiss Nelson and Edu. I've seen some notes about Edu online, and I've seen some comments about Reiss Nelson in regards to Arsenal. Now we know Reiss Nelson is Arsenal full and what's the word? Messed that up. He's Arsenal through and through. It will take a big decision for him to leave permanently. It will take a lot for him to genuinely believe he can't make it here. He wants to make it here. He showed great courage last season, got out on loan. He could have stayed here, maybe made some Europa League appearances, travelled with the squad, but he wanted more than that. He had good periods last season and testing periods. Either way, it made him more of a grown player, more of a mature individual. The more life experiences you have, the wiser you get in life, and that logic applies to football. He built on the 16 appearances he made at Arsenal and went on to make 20 something apps for Hoffenheim. You add that together, you're barely touching 40 career appearances, people. He's still a young man that needs our patience, that needs our time, that's going to have great games and have games where he's missing. But Reiss Nelson is Arsenal through and through, and I really hope he's given a fair crack here, people, because like he said, we need a winger who is going to hug the touchline and want to beat his fullback. If you've watched his first start in the under-20s, he set up a goal more or less from doing that, putting in a cross. It weren't the best of cross and it weren't the best of defending, but Maddison scored. He can do that. But equally, football's not about that, people. I've showed you lot. I'm not even going to get the tactics board out, but I've showed you lot before how football's inside. You look at Salah, you look at all of these players, they're inside. You go and look at Nelson, he always comes inside and takes up sort of 10 positions or narrow positions because he wants to link up, he wants to be closer to goal. That's how he got the penalty against Croatia, people. He came off the flanks, he linked up well, his leg was swiped. And that's the sort of thing we need. We need people who can interchange and things, and that's why I think together with Aubameyang and Lacazette, Nelson's possibly got a role there if given a chance. If Carrasco and these players are not signed, of course, people, or Zaha is the latest one, which I wouldn't mind. Now, I believe in Nelson. Like I said, he should be given chances. 10 games, you don't know what you're going to get from Reiss Nelson, as much as I like him, because he's still trying to add consistency. So he needs our support, he needs our development. Don't expect too much. And for everyone that's banging on about Nelson, about Bielik, about Mavropanos, who you've actually seen him get red carded, and obviously the free kick which led to Benteke's goal, you can't call for young players if you haven't got the patience, people. Again, these players are going to have good games. These players are going to genuinely leave you bewildered at times. And things like that. But we need to stand by them. I think Nelson's got a lot of good experiences. I think since he's been stepping into the first team environment, he's still got a bit of work, but he's improved defensively and he's got a better appreciation for defending. If you look at when he was playing fullback and them things in the Europa League under us, if you look at how he's playing for Hoffenheim when given the chance, you've seen him play a bunch of roles. You saw him technically play up front. You've seen him play on either flank. You've actually seen him take up the 10, play in different formations, and obviously in another country and stuff. It makes you mature. He's gone under a different manager. Now, obviously, he had different coaches at academy level, but Arsenal was Wenger. If it wasn't Wenger directly, indirectly, you're being coached because of Wenger. He's gone to Nagelsmann, who would probably, if you ask Nagelsmann, Wenger's one of his reference points, but he's completely different. He's got his own way of thinking, the same way he's gone under Emery. So he's had 3 different coaches already in his short time. That's something he's going to get to learn from, because you start again from zero. One coach might rate you, the next one don't really care who you are. You got to prove it again. And they've all got different philosophies and stuff. And the more adaptable you are, the better chance you have of making it. I believe there's an issue if Reiss Nelson, if 2 of the 4 of Reiss Nelson, Emil Smith Rowe, Saka, and Amici, if one of them 4 there don't make it, there's an issue here. And obviously Malcolm in the under-16s as well, baller, people, baller. He's playing on the flanks as well. He can hit free kicks, can play on either flank, very direct, former Chelsea lad. Awebe, I believe his name is Malcolm Awebe. I keep calling him Awebe for some mad reason, but he's a baller, people. But he's not the focus of this. We know Nelson's a baller. People, we all know with the Sancho and the Callum Hudson-Odoi, them 3 there, and probably Foden, they're going to be crippled because people are always going to look at Sancho. What's Sancho doing? What's Nelson doing? What's Nelson doing? What's this guy doing? And they're going to have to be able to deal with that, and I do think it's unfair. One thing I like about the Germany loan is obviously people are watching him, and if people are watching some of these games, they'll know he's still young and developing because they were there gassing up games where he scored where he might not have necessarily played the best. But I feel if he went on, obviously a Premier League loan would have helped and shut more doubters up as well, because I think he done well in Germany. I've got no bias saying Germany's better than Prem and all them things, but some people would use that. He would play Prem, you'd see immediately his level would be watched under the microscope. But is that the best of environments to develop people? Every good game, people saying he's the next this and that for Arsenal. Every bad game, he's this, that and the other. Obviously, people are watching Hoffenheim religiously, but clearly English fans or Arsenal fans are not watching Hoffenheim as much as they're watching Arsenal people. Come on, let's cut the crap. So it gave him a sort of out the spotlight sort of thing, which I think is one benefit for Sancho and many players that have gone to Germany people. Um, in the report in the Telegraph, he referenced Raheem Sterling as one of his role models and someone that offers him, they text a lot and he offers him advice and encouragement. And a note on Raheem Sterling, I really rate what he's doing for the young players, for Nelson, for Callum, in regards to football and dealing with young expectations of being a young player and also the racism aspect and things like that. I think Raheem Sterling's doing a fantastic job. But obviously at Hoffenheim, he scored 7 goals in 23 games. He came off the bench 18 times, so we all know he did struggle towards the end starting games. So there's a lot to learn, people. I think in general he's had a positive season, and it's a better season than he would have had stuck at Arsenal more or less if he would have been playing 23s. I would have liked to have thought he would have got a chance when you were seeing Ozil and Mkhitaryan playing on the wings and just players weren't performing, but that no one can foresee that. You can only deal with facts, and he couldn't see opportunities last season with the rebuild, so he went out on loan to develop himself and come back a more confident player. But he's been speaking. He said, "I support Arsenal. All my family support Arsenal. There's an interaction I have with the fans. It's a good thing. They support a lot of young talent coming up through Arsenal, and it's good. They don't always, my guy. Be careful." He said, "I just want to concentrate on the opportunities I get at Arsenal. When I do get that, I can concentrate. When I do get that at the club, then I can concentrate on that." Apologies for butchering that, people. "I've got a lot bigger. I was playing at Arsenal when I was 17, when Arsene Wenger gave me my Premier League debut against Southampton. So I was very mature when I was playing. Now I have more maturity. This copy and paste don't make sense, people. Now I have a more mature role about me. Sorry, people. It's quite small. I need my glasses. I look to play, link up play, 1v1s, and I think I'm more mature. And that's what you want to hear. His link up play has improved. Like I said, he's coming centrally, and because he's coming inside and he could potentially link up with Aubameyang and Lacazette, Emre can still get what he wants down the flanks, people, and he still would have to support down the flanks. 1v1, he is very good. He has a skill set that we can add in the squad. Bit too early to say if he's the answer for that wide role and whatnot, but I do think he should be given a chance, and regardless of if he's the answer or not, I think he's someone that should be brought up through the academy, and similar to Maitland-Niles and Iwobi and stuff, they should be Arsenal first team players of some capacity, people. Like he said, people resonate with the young players. They get behind them, man. How much times do we sit here and bang on about Tony Adams, how we ain't got a Tony Adams again? Not every young player can make it, but we need to give people chances. And again, how many? Because again, you look at Guendouzi, completely different, but it's testament to Guendouzi that people are forgetting he's a young player. But look how the Wolves are coming out. Again, Guendouzi for me, I love Guendouzi. I think he's a baller. I think he can develop to be a competent player for us. I'm not here to gas it, but he does do frustrating things. Positioning can improve. It is a bit indisciplined, and as he gets older, he needs to improve that. And for me, the biggest pet peeve is that obviously he holds on to the ball a lot. And that could be someone else's pet peeve. Mine is when he's looking to the ref. I call that stop snitching. When you play cage football, when you play in the Sunday League, what are you told? Play to the whistle. And Guendouzi, you can see that he's been in the academy for time, because he'll hold on to the ball, get a smart foul, get fouled, and then look to the ref. 9 times out of 10, you get the foul. But the one time you don't, that's a counter-attack and they're putting it in. Play to the whistle, people. And I think Arsenal have an issue with that. It's nice to see, man. And finally, he went on to say, "Germany made me more grown up as a person. On the pitch, it showed. Whenever I got minutes, I would take any opportunity that comes my way." That's what you need, that sort of sink or swim. He knows being a professional footballer isn't easy, but in case he needed reminders, a reminder that this isn't a game, that this is a livelihood, that man are fighting to play week in, week out. No one's going to give you their shirt. I wouldn't even say earn it. You have to take an next man's shirt, people. Because think about Sunday League. When I was playing right back, of course, it's only Sunday League, people. But there was 3 right backs in my side. Not to gas myself, and I'm not the best of footballers, but you can ask Darren, my coach. I was number 1. That's a fact, people. That's because I didn't want man taking my shirt. I played right and left back as well. Shout out to Romario, because I would play left at times. He'd play on the right, and we would do our thing and switch and that. But I didn't want no one taking my shirt. I didn't want XYZ. There's, like I said, 3 men fighting for one spot. I knew training, match days, I have to do my thing. If I was on the bench, I'm vexed. Anyone that knows me knows I hate the bench. It feels like I didn't play, people. When I was young and sort of immature, and I might even tell this story, I was actually not allowed to play for the school team because I got in trouble in it. And I kind of started cheering on the other team and that, and moving a bit mad. But back to this, like I didn't want no one taking my spot. I knew it had to be earned. Them players there, they knew if they wanted my shirt, we're boys off the field, but on the field we're enemies. If you want my shirt, you have to take it over my dead body. I'm not gonna go, here you go, Michael, here you go, Bob, take my shirt. No one's gonna do that, people. No one is gonna do that. And even regardless of your opinions of someone like Mkhitaryan, he plays on the wings. He should feel threatened. We know he's a 10, but he plays on the flanks. He should feel threatened for his position with Nelson. So they're not, regardless of how their form's been, but they're not going to give it to him. It won't be. We know he's probably a 10, and he said he wants to play inside, but he's been playing on the left-hand side, and he's played quite frequently under Emery. He must feel threatened over Nelson, because I would say I like Iwobi, as you lot know, always defend him, but Nelson's more of an exciting player, and I think can be a better player. He should be threatened. That could bring the best out in them too, because you don't want no one to take your spot. But for Nelson, they're not going to give you their spot. There's no friends in this thing. And that's what these young footballers need to understand. Amici, Saka, John Jules, all of these sick young G's at the club, they already know it because they're smart men. They already know it. But it's sink or swim. No one's your friend in this thing. The goal is to be a professional footballer. Whether it can be done at Arsenal or elsewhere, the goal is to advance and be professional footballers. And that requires some tough decisions. That requires being cutthroat. That requires being honest, people. And that is quite tough. Moving on from Nelson, obviously I hope Nelson gets chances. He's had his England under-21s tournament out the way. It weren't the best of tournaments. He only played a single game. The good thing is he'll be rested and stuff, and he'll be ready to join sooner or later in regards to first team preparations for the next season and have the chance to be under Unai Emery's eye. And you're hoping he and Bielik, maybe Emil as well to a degree, they can find spots this season. I say maybe Emil because he might want to go out on loan because his loan spot at Leipzig through injury issues wasn't the best, people, as you lot know. Moving on to Edu, though, we all know he's still working with the Brazilian squad, the Brazilian national setup for the Copa America, and he'll allegedly start his Arsenal tenure when that commences. Apparently, he's already started work at Arsenal, briefing people briefing people on targets, already delegating potential tasks to staff and things like that, and advising around transfer targets. And that's what you want to hear. You want to hear some movement starting. I know we're hearing, if you believe reports, only a fee is needed to sign Saliba. We're moving ever closer to Tierney. Again, until I see man holding up Arsenal shirts on Arsenal.com, I don't believe none of this, people. But we definitely need to get a move on. You're seeing Spurs 60 odd million for Ndombele. That's quite a great signing. It's a shame when he signs for Spurs, we're going to have to call him overrated, but he's a baller. We're going to need to get our move on, people. It's nice to see that Edu is in constant contact with the club because we all know we're going to have to get it spot on. A gift and a curse is that there's many specialists in positions, but it's hard for me anyways, or fans, to decipher who is signing who, because I'm sure Edu's got his own targets. Cahigio allegedly the one behind Martinelli, and maybe him and Edu collaborated on that. I'm sure Emre has his own targets. Raul Sanye clearly has his own targets. So they're going to have to come together and find a medium ground in terms of the profile of player they're looking for. Is it young, unpolished? Do you want ready-made players? What do you want? Again, we know we can't sign ready-made players that are at fairly established clubs for lack of money. So do you go for ready-made players with a lesser profile? Do you really critique your scouting reports? Do you really tell your scouts to suggest some targets that they might not have said first choice? Do you re-scout potential targets? Do you reassess certain things? So there's a lot to be said, man. Obviously, until Edu starts and is officially confirmed in the role, we won't know anything really and truly, people. But it's nice to see that if Edu is legitly in constant... What was that? It's nice to see that he's in consistent and constant contact with the club, if that's to be true, because we're going to need to get the window spot on. We're not going to get all the players moved on and all the players brought in, but for me, the most important thing is you have to see encouraging signs of advancing in that sort of direction. Tactically on the pitch in pre-season, we're not going to be able to suddenly defend like Warriors and defend and move mad. It's not going to happen in a couple of weeks, but we need to be making progress to move in that direction. That's just my opinion. And in regards to my opinion, it's time to wrap it up. So, people, Deluded, I'm out. Thank you for watching and tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment your opinion, share up the thing. I'm out.